fight is holy, I'm a Gideon.
One love.
So when the man comes, there will be no doom.
One soul.
Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah, yeah. One love. What about the one
love?
What about the
Let's get together and feel alright.
I'm fleeing to mankind.
One love. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord.
And I will
Feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will
Feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you wanna see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. There's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do, 'cause there's a place up there for people like you. Out of many one people we are.
Father, how excellent is thy name. Greater than all your works, greatly to be praised. These days can be so demanding. I don't wanna lean upon my own misunderstanding. So all that I ask is for you to be mindful of me. When I consider your hands, they bring forth the rain and stars. All that I ask is for you to be mindful of me. When I consider your hands, they bring forth the stars. Remember me, remember me. Me know a whole heap of people I pray. Remember me, remember me, remember me. I know you got a lot on your hands. Remember me. Our Father, how excellent is thy name. Greater than all your works, and greatly to be praised. These days can be so demanding. I don't wanna lean upon my own misunderstandings. So all that I ask is for you to be mindful of me. When I consider your hands, they bring forth the rain and stars. All that I ask is for you to be mindful of me. When I consider your hands, they bring forth the stars. Remember me, remember me. Me know a whole heap of people I pray. Remember me, remember me, Jaja. Ooh, remember me. I know you got a lot on your hands. Remember me. Oh, oh. See that? Oh.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. And before we begin, I'm going to just invite us all to join in a minute of silence. Just so we're present. I know there's a lot of us in the air right now. Just so we become present, so we can create this space of sacredness and peace and silence together. So just a moment in silence, if we just stop, be present, and send our kind, peaceful, loving thoughts out into the world, but in this moment, in this room. welcome again to everyone. We began with Om Shanti. We began with silence. And why did we do that? If Carl were here, that's probably how we would begin. For those of you who've known Carl, who've listened to him, that's what he would have said first. Om Shanti. Why did he say that, or why did we say that? Om Shanti means, I am peace. You are peace. Greetings of peace. Welcome each one in peace. The aim this evening is to create an atmosphere of peace in this space, but also to give this peace to Carl, and to give this peace to the world, to our brothers and sisters out there that are very needy of peace. So thank you all for being here. And so on behalf of the family, Carl, we thank you for being here today. Each of you who's here is present as one who contributes to the life of Carl, the memory of friendship, the moment of kindness, laughter that helps to shape who Carl was. Is anyone in the room who doesn't know who Carl was, who never met Carl? Physically or on the radio or somewhere else, or on Facebook or whatever. No strangers in the room? Good, because we don't have strangers among us. We're always friends and family. And so each of you represent a chapter in Carl's life, a memory of friendship, a moment of kindness, a laughter, and you helped to make Carl who Carl was. And so as we gather in this space, we hold many feelings, one of which may be sorrow to some, one of which may be gratitude, and I hope that is true for all of us. Some may feel the sorrow because there's a sense of loss. Many people meet me and they say, I feel so sorry. And so some may be holding sorrow. And that is for you to decide what to do with that sorrow. But hopefully by the end of this evening, we'll decide that sorrow might not be the best thing to leave here with. So we're going to leave here with a feeling of joy and a feeling of deep gratitude for the relationship we had created with Carl, with ourselves. But just be grateful for the opportunity for the relationships we create with each other, including Carl. And so I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for coming to sharing your stories of your relationship with Carl and to help us celebrate the beautiful, generous spirit of light and love that he brought into the world. Because when he's gone, we want to make sure that that light and love is left behind. It doesn't disappear. Okay? So today we're going to have a joyful, though sacred celebration. We will celebrate with Carl, with his love, for his love. And so today, to taking us through this journey of celebration, we have with us Sister Gayatri. And Sister Gayatri is one of our senior teachers from the Brahma Kumaris. And all of you who know Carl have known his connection with the Brahma Kumaris. So we have Sister Gayatri who is going to guide us through and journey with us through this celebration today. Sister Gayatri, just a word about her. She's one of our senior teachers with the Brahma Kumaris, and she's also the United Nations representative of the Brahma Kumaris in New York. She loves to do this kind of thing. She loves to send people off happily. And she told me when I walked in, Carl don't have any time for you because I'm the only one in his mind right now. And I said, that's okay. So there's a special place in her heart for Carl, and there is a special place in Carl's heart for her. So I know she's going to really take us through a journey together where we really leave here feeling uplifted, alive, and that this was a really meaningful occasion to be here this afternoon. Not just to send Carl off, but to remind us of the joy that still lives with us, even when he's gone. Okay, so I'd like to invite Sister Gayatri up. Thank you. Shanti.
Thank you, Carmen, and good evening to all my brothers and sisters, some whom I know very well and some whom I'm meeting for the first time this evening. So do you see me as your sister, the way Carl saw me as his sister? Yes. So today we are going to be celebrating Brother Carl's life and his legacy. And when Carmen called me, or she texted me actually, to say that Carl had just passed, I called her back instantly and I said, is he there still with you in the room? Because I knew he was at home. And she said, yeah. I said, well, could I do a meditation commentary with him, being still in the room? And I know the soul, the life force was still around and is still around. And as I was doing that meditation with some of the family who were there as well, the words that kept coming to me, it was like pulsating in my soul and in my heart, was one love. And I think that Carl's life epitomized this one love. So today is a celebration of one love. Why one love? I think Brother Carl represented hope. And so one love brings this message of hope. The hope for him, and I think for Bob Marley at that time when he created this song, was to bring our minds together in unity of peace and to harmonize our hearts in trust. And so we can then overcome. And what are we overcoming? The obstacles that we face in life. It seems as though the one love is saying to us, you can't do it alone. You have to do it together with one love. One love colored the life and legacy of Brother Carl. He embodied the empowering and the optimistic view that if you want to change someone, even if you want to change yourself, the only thing that could do it was music. He loved music. His entire radio show was of music because he knew the way music touched the hearts of people, words alone couldn't do it. So One Love is calling us this evening to get together and feel all right. And so we're to hear, when we get together and feel all right, it is to overcome differences and it's to embrace our humanity. Brother Carr's mantra was, you are a special human being. You are a special person. You know, on his radio program, he would always say, you are a special person. You're a special human being. But he just didn't say it to the individual human being. He said it to the family of humanity. Our hearts are together as one heart. And it brings us together in community. A community of souls, of brothers and sisters. Because this being that leaves the body but continues is that being in everyone's body. And that being has the potential to shine his or her light anywhere that presence is, whether in a body or not in a body. The presence of the soul shines. And what does it shine with? It shines with love, it shines with compassion, it shines with care, it shines with courage. So in Carl's heart, and he wants to extend that to each and every one of us here this evening in our hearts, he had one message for everyone, and that message he wanted us to hear with our hearts. Never look down at anyone. Remember?
Yes.
Never look down at anyone. Unless you are trying to pick them up. That is one's heart. Because you're special and that one is special. So with these words, we will celebrate Brother Carl's life. And we will have people sharing about the impact that Brother Carl had on their lives. And we will start with a family eulogy. And I'd like to invite Sherry Moxie to come up and to share the eulogy from the family. Now, I was sitting in that chair and I'm wondering, who could be Sherry? And I looked at you and I saw the face of Carl on your face. And I thought, that's Sherry. She is like her brother, not just in face and features, but in heart and soul.
Thank you, my sister. This is the eulogy of Carl B. Moxie, celebrating the life, times, and legacy. Good afternoon, everyone. Carl is remembered by some as Carl B. Brother Carl, Uncle Carl. For me, since childhood, he was always Biggie. Thank you for all your presence here today for this special occasion. Before I share the eulogy, I want to take a moment to honor the significance of this gathering. We are here not only because we feel the weight of loss, but because each of us carries a piece of Carl in our hearts. Your presence today is a testament to a life that touched many. And it creates a circle of support that holds us all. With that spirit of love and remembrance, I offer these words. My feeling is that many of you may already know quite a bit about Carl, as much has been shared about him online. However, let me try to give you, in essence, a feel of who Carl is or was. Carl was born Carlisle B. Moxie on December 5, 1946, in the parish of St. Thomas, Jamaica, West Indies. Carl spent his early days in St. Thomas with his parents, and his 5 siblings. He described his early life as comfortable, but for the most part, sometimes quite unpleasant because of a speech impediment. Carl stutters. Despite this impediment, he was considered a bright student. After elementary school, he moved to Kingston to live with an older brother, Jocelyn, who introduced him to boxing as a way to deal with the frustration he experienced because of his stutter. He became a really good boxer and gained the attention of former light heavyweight boxing champions Archie Moore and Muhammad Ali, who saw him in a match in Kingston, Jamaica. Mr. Moore invited him to California to further develop his boxing career. This exposed him to being in the company of many other famous boxers at that time, including Sugar Ray Roberts. During this time, Carl's philanthropic and generous personality began to emerge. He donated money from his boxing purse to a charity organization called Any Boy Can. He raised monies to help build shelters for the homeless and for kids from broken homes in California. Carl accredited his generosity to his mother, who was always helping others. Carl's boxing career came to a halt when he injured his back, but declined to have surgery. However, while living with Archie Moore, Carl also came into the company of Sidney Poitier, Ivan Dixon, Tony Randall, Raquel Walsh, Otis Young, and others. He was encouraged to go back to acting school, which he did. He gained a few movie credits and was featured in the documentary about the life and times of Archie Moore, narrated by Tony Randall. Then there were the 2 country and western films, Wagon Train and The Outcast. At this point, Carl felt he had accomplished what he went to do in California, and it was time for him to leave. He moved to New York in the early 70s. He was trained in data processing and worked in companies such as ITT, Coopers and Library, and others. He left working in corporate America in late 1990s when ITT reconstructed. It was from there that Carl started the radio career, which occupied the later part of his life. In 1974, Carl met Carmen, and their journey together as life partners and soulmates continued to the end of his life. Together, they formed a very strong band with a common spiritual tendency and a common purpose of serving. Carl's entrepreneurial spirit continued to grow, and he founded the organization Concerned Jamaican Citizens and Friends in the 1980s with an objective to provide support, primarily financial and equipment, to help institutions in Jamaica, West Indies, and to provide services for the youths in our community. Through the CJCF organization, intensive promotions, fundraising activities, thousands of dollars were donated in cash and kinds in the form of medical equipment to hospitals on the island and primarily in island of Jamaica. Carl's eagerness and commitment to help foster the growth of people, especially the youths, have always kept him intensively exploring innovative ways to do so. Carl used strategies such as, but not limited to, writing and recording music with positive lyrics, and freely distributed these records within the community. The last piece of music he compiled was a 20-track CD compilation titled Liberation. He wrote forum and opinion pieces for some of the major black-owned newspapers in New York City, which includes the Daily Challenge, the New York Carib News, the Jamaican Gleaner, North America edition, the Citizen, the Amsterdam News, and Everybody's Magazine. This drive to promote the positive growth of the young people influences decision to host a Caribbean radio show. The Carl D. Moxie Wake Up Call radio show was aired on 93.5 FM radio every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. The Wake Up Call was designed to evoke awareness through inspirational music, features, and messages. His on-air humor and loving attitude towards his listeners was truly refreshing. The camaraderie he shared with his lovely and competent assistant, Debbie Harrigan Debo, was a delight to witness. The show's weekly features include News Brief, Community Link, Job 1 ads, from the chapters of Carl D. Moxie, the Learning Center Moments in History, the Family in Focus, Health Watch, Children, Students, Salute, Meditation, Wisdom Online, Virtual Reality, and Insight with Carmen, his life partner. Carl was on the radio for over 24 years. The latest ones being on WRTN FM 93.5 with the Wake Up Radio Show and Soundcheck Radio. Despite many struggles, he was able to keep it going and to reach others with his humor, warm, and wise words. The Wake Up Call Radio Show on 93.5 SM was Carl's greatest platform of service. Though inspirational music, through inspirational music, community news, youth features, and spiritual reflections, including the weekly segment Insight with Carmen, Carl created a sanctuary of awareness and hope for listeners across the tri-state area. Carl's perspective on life was compelling. His perspective was to look ahead of challenges, resolve issues, and never be discouraged when things come to an end. He understood when he had to move on and remain content. Carl was a student of truth. His inspiration comes through the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual Organization, of which he was a dedicated student since 1998. Through the Brahma Kumaris, Carl learned about his true self, of being a soul, and of the innate perfection and goodness of every soul, influenced by this knowledge. Carl lived by the principles of peace, truth, and the soul consciousness. He believed deeply in the power of elevated thoughts to heal the self and uplift society. His mission was clear: to awaken, to inspire, and to remind each soul of its innate goodness. Carl's mission statement, which motivates his work and service, is: in these times when there is a weakening of our social, moral, and even spiritual fiber of our society, resulting in a host of personal and societal ills. A program such as this, the Wake Up Radio, can only help to promote the awareness and the upliftment of our community. Carl was diagnosed with a terminal illness in 2019. He faced it with courage and continued to serve. Throughout his illness, he remained content, and even when in pain, his face stayed cheerful. He never forgot that the illness is of the body, not of the soul. So we use even his illness to serve. Carl left his body in the early morning hours of March 31st, in the loving, peaceful comfort of his home and in the company of his family. He is survived by Carmen, his loving, caring companion of 52 years. His adopted son, Neil, his brother, Jocelyn, who lives in Florida, and me, his little sister, Cherry, who lives in Canada, along with his nephew, Barry and Moxie, other nephews, nieces, extended family, his dear community of friends, and the BK spiritual family. Carl has left behind a legacy of service, courage, and spiritual life. His life continues to inspire all who knew him and all who were touched by his voice. May his soul journey into God's loving remembrance, and may his light continue to guide us toward peace. We thank you so much for your kind support during these times and always. If anybody can hear his voice right now, I can. I can hear his voice on the radio show. There are a few lines that he would mention during his show. And a couple of them is, where's the Willie Pooh? Big belly little ball.
They're on camera.
Legacies. Cherry Moxie. Thank you very much for listening. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Sherry. I didn't know we had a celebrity in our midst. Had I known, Carl would not have lived it down. Let us just take a moment of silence. That was such a profound eulogy that took us on a journey of Carl's life. And one of the phrases that Sherry used touched me very deeply. Carl was a student of truth. Let us just hold that for 30 seconds in our hearts. Carl was a student of truth. Thank you. Sherry spoke about Carl's association with the Brahma Kumaris, his spiritual family, and him and Carmen being part of our family in a very special way, in a very close way. And so now we have a eulogy from the Brahma Kumaris, or a spiritual organization. And we'll ask Brother Eric Larson to give the eulogy on behalf of the Brahma Kumaris. Brother Eric is a dear friend of Carl's and a brother, and they both used to study and chat and serve out of Harmony House, where the Brahma Kumaris headquarters in the USA is located. Eric.
Thank you, Sister Gayatri. And thank you so much, little sister, for what you shared, because I knew Brother Carl. We actually are brothers. You might not recognize, we had different mothers and different fathers, but we were brothers. But I didn't know so much about Carl, because I would see him in the facility we call Global Harmony House in Great Neck. You're all welcome. And we would work together to create things that others might be able to hear and listen and experience. We had programs, what we call Insight, Thursday nights. And one of the ways to do it is to have a talk and conversation, but it gets a little less interesting over time. And so we would try to have skits or programs. And I didn't hear too much about the accolades of Harmony House in the acting criteria that were mentioned. And his skills were very much used and welcome. We would sometimes write things, we would sometimes improvise programs, and Carl was a master at storytelling and in adding the qualities that he felt were important for people to have in their lives. And he would always want to have a moral or a lesson. He was a very, very good teacher also in how he communicated and what he communicated and how you would feel when you listened to him. Because he did speak truth. He was able to take a topic, whatever that might have been, and be able to create a story. He would act, he would be on the stage, and he would be able to share that. It was very tight. It wasn't these long programs. But he had that skill to be able to make us feel that we were cared for, that we were important, that we had a spiritual sense in ourselves that needed to be focused on and developed. It was incredibly encouraging. And the opportunities I've had with Carl will not continue right now, but I've lost two friends. And I don't know if he mentioned his other friend, Teddy, who he would often in his programs call. Hello, this is Teddy. And sometimes Carl performed miracles because he could talk to Teddy without even a phone in his hand. He would just kind of reach out and he would hear voices on stage and he would then hold a one-way conversation with some invisible friend. And so I don't think Teddy will be showing up in Harmony House much in the future. I'll miss both of them. Another element, and I only know Carl from Harmony House, so a little sliver is kind of what I offered, so I just truly appreciated the fullness that was previously presented, is that we try to honor everybody. We try to recognize everyone. And Carl was instrumental in creating that feeling of welcoming respect, because he would give his expertise in recording, and he would give us some messages. He would give us some music there, and it would be his voice, and you just knew that what he was saying was valuable, was important, and was true. I re-listened to a recording that we had, and it was for the holidays. And he acknowledged those that celebrated Christmas, celebrated Diwali, celebrated Kwanzaa, celebrated Hanukkah, that there was this sense that he had a way of communicating and including everybody, and so everybody felt close when Carl would speak and share. We had an opportunity to make some of these recordings, and the most profound ones were from Mother's Day. Because we would play his recording, we would share that, and the mothers who come to Global Harmony House were very touched because they felt seen and respected and honored and acknowledged. And they were, because they're so very important. And Carl had the ability to have that sense that this is what I want to say, and this is what I want to share, and this is how I'd like you to feel, because that's how I see you. And he raised people up, as was mentioned. I unfortunately didn't get to listen to his radio programs live, because we were busy at those times. But I always knew that he made a chance to implement what I've learned, helping others, because he would use his radio program to share his spiritual experiences. He would share his radio program to help others recognize their own values and to connect to those and use as a foundation for their lives. One element that I want to just complete or share is that I saw Carl, I think last fall. He was a little less regular in the past year or so. But I was surprised because Carl was over in Great Neck in our parking lot in the fall. He had driven himself. And as far as I knew, he was not well. But the support and dedication was exemplified when his life partner, Carmen, decided that she would fall. And so she did that, willingly or unwillingly, and decided that, even though my foot hurts, I'm going to go because I had something to do. I wanted to be in Great Neck. And after sitting a while, she couldn't walk, and she had broken her foot. And so it was kind of an interesting scene to think of Carl not feeling well, but the healthiest one of the two. And so she went to the hospital, and the car was left there, and you'll have to get all the details from Carmen. But Carl drove the car, I think it was probably in the fall, it was the past few months, to get the car and get to Carmen and such. But the dedication, the love, the support, the caring was totally exemplified, and his charming face. Not a problem, this is what I do, this is okay, I'm supposed to help out, and let me help out. Let me do what I can to help those who might need some assistance. And I needed some assistance for some of the Thursday night programs. Our family there, spiritual family there, needed assistance in creating an atmosphere, which he so well did. And I think all of you have probably somehow have felt his assistance in your life. And so I'm very much appreciative to have known Carl and had a chance to share just the sliver of what I understand to be a very rich and full life. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Carmen. I hope your foot's better.
Thank you, Eric, for bringing the humor into the room. I'm sure Brother Carl is smiling, that everlasting, beautiful smile that he has. And so now, I'll ask us to go into another piece of reflection. And you'll hear some violin music for this reflection. And it is an offering to today from one of Carl's sisters, spiritual sisters, from Japan. Her name is Ayako. And she wanted to give her music as an offering to the celebration of Carl's life. So could we have the music, please? And let us hold Carl and of course the canopy of God's light over Carl. really creates a lovely ambiance. We're all on a journey of life, and we're all travelers, aren't we? And we make our entrances and exits. I wonder if it's by our choice, or if it just happens to us. It's destiny, definitely. And so along this journey of our lives, we encounter people, and some of them really leave lasting love, the impact of love, of trust, of friendship, of family, what it means to be family. And we hold on to it in very beautiful ways. And so today, this evening, we're going to have family and friends of Brother Carl, whom Sister Carmen thought would want to share something of their friendship, their family with Brother Carl. And she wanted it to be across the generation. So she says they'll speak for 2 minutes. But how long is 2 minutes in Jamaica? I don't know. Neil. Neil, where are you? Neil? You are Neil Baxter?
Yes.
You are going to be talking about your dad.
Hello, everyone. Shanti. It was interesting talking, connected with the story that Eric was relaying or communicating with you guys, regarding. Closer? Okay. Yeah, so he was talking about how, by the way, we're here to celebrate Carl's life here, not his past, not his death, because he continues to live in all of us. Every experience that we have with someone becomes a part of us as we go through life. And in their passing, or in the physical passing anyway, they continue to live on through us. So he is in every one of us that's here tonight, today. I was listening to Eric sharing his story about him coming over to Harmony House. I remember that day vividly because Mom had broken her ankle. She came out early in the morning. She had a purpose. They both had purposes, building purposes. She came out and she's used to walking on water. There's only one problem. The water at 20 degrees, I think, or so, turns into ice. Yeah, so she decided to walk on water, and the result in her broken. So anyway, later on in the day, it turns out that I was supposed to go. She had driven her car out there. Sister Beverly had driven her back. And so the car was on Long Island. So I was the one who was supposed to go out to pick up the car, only to find out the car, of course, decided that he was going to do out there. So, it's fun to remembering having that memory. Again, we're here to celebrate his life. Carl came into my life just 2 years ago. I was, I guess, a 9-year-old in Jamaica. And this gentleman came, this very calm, very self-assured gentleman came and we met. Turns out my mother had come to the United States a couple of years before. And then a couple of years after, I had sent for me. They're an interesting couple. Very similar in values, but different in temperament. Mom is, she's, let's say, evolved. As a teenager, I was a little challenging. So the Carl that you see today is the Carl that I met, that I experienced at the time. This was experienced by Carl also. One of the things that I remember vividly is that he never ever lost his cool. Never ever lost his temper. Never raised his voice. And I'm going to segue a little bit because what I want to just take a look at is the concept of the chain. About the concept of the chain. It's only as strong as weak link. And with families today, and what we realize is that there are a lot of links that are broken, and it's passing through to children, to our kids, where, and of course if that link is damaged, it's really never ever recovers in subsequent generations. So that's one of the things that I value very much growing up, is that he represented a positive role model for me. Someone who I looked up to, someone who was calm, someone who was positive, someone who knew how to relate with someone else, who knew how to respect another person's point of view. And that I benefited from that. I learned from that. I evolved from that. And I have a son now. He's 14 years old, and because of that benefit, because of that linking to my role model, I am now able to pass some of my experiences to my son, and he is now able to live through me and hopefully he will be pass on that learned experience, those learned experiences to his children. So again, we're here to learn. We're here to celebrate. our connection in life with him. I'm here to celebrate and be thankful for what he's given to me in my life. All the positive values. And by the way, I just wanted to go back to Mom and Carl. You know, their difference in temperament, but their value systems were very well aligned. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to go through life when you don't have similar things in common, a common denominator, I would say, with another person in your life. So, and again, that message also was said to be in a very unified fashion. So I want to say thank you to the gentleman who made the man that I am today. And we're proud to call my dad.
So Neil, the heart goes on, from heart to heart. I'd like to call on Marcia Jones, the niece. And Marcia, you tell us a little bit about your relation, of how you are the niece to Carl, would you?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I heard you say that Aunt Carmen gave us 2 minutes. And how long is that in Jamaica? I don't know. But I'm actually from London. So we may be a little bit more disciplined. You know, we like to cue the things, we don't like to break the line and all that sort of stuff. So I will try not to be much more than 2 minutes, but I do have something to say about Mr. Moxie. I met Carl in 1988. That was when we had a family trip to New York. I think that was our first family trip to New York, my husband at the time and my 2 daughters, who were 7 and 5. And I'd like to say that from that moment I met Carl, we built a relationship. I actually do not call Carl Carl. I've always called him Moxie. To me, he was always Moxie. And what does he represent for me? He was a very calm, warm, patient, very meticulous. I used to watch him at the kitchen sink washing up and cleaning up, and everything had to be just so. Everything had to be wiped down and very clean, and everything put away very nicely. He was very loving and a very, very kind man. Moxie was the kind of person who didn't need to say much to make you feel at ease. You just felt it when you were in his presence. He was always about community. He had such a big heart and a genuinely real desire to make a difference to people. It's been said already many times. Many of you know him through his love of music and his radio program, Wake Up Radio. His Wake Up Call show reached many people, not just here in New York and the Tri-State, but internationally. I used to listen to him in London. Thank goodness for technology, right? And I speak to Carl over the years about many things, but for him, it was never just about music. It was always about lifting up people, sharing inspiration, and bringing the community together. I'd speak to him when he was in another boat trip to wherever it was, and he was planning for it, and he was planning his music, and planning the food, and planning all of these things, and all the people that was going to come along. I was in London, so I never got to go to any of those. But I heard the stories about them, and I know many people enjoyed going to those. He also gave back in other powerful ways. I remembered how he cared deeply about young people. And that was when I met him back in 1988, and through that time he was doing lots of work with young children. And I remembered how he used to talk about guiding them, encouraging them, and helping them to grow into something positive, to be more than they realized they could be. And he would often say to me, and I've never forgotten this, he always used to say, if I can make a difference to just one, then one can go on to make a difference to others, and that's a rippling effect. That was who he was. He believed in impact, not for recognition, but for the greater good. Moxie would tease me about my English accent, and so he had me make jingles for his radio show. And whenever I was in town, I guarantee I would hear them playing, making me feel so welcome. That was Moxie. He was full of humor, warm, and always making me feel special in the little moments. He was also incredibly generous, not just in words, which he was good with, by the way, very good with words, but in what he did. I'll never forget when my eldest daughter was going through a major back operation in London. A very worrying and a very difficult time for all of us. Out of nowhere, Carl showed up at the hospital. Look at that. Carl Moxie. He just turned up at the hospital. No one knew he was coming. Just showed up, and that was him. Quietly there when it mattered most. Truly special. As time went on, over the years, I saw the change in Carl as his spirituality grew deeper and became such a, his spirituality grew deeper and he became such an important part of who he was. Through his spiritual journey, including his work with the Brahma Kumaris, he shared wisdom about peace, about living with purpose. Neil mentioned purpose earlier, two of them, live for purpose, and about being the best version of ourselves. And I believe it was Carl that introduced me to Khalil Gibran. And I felt today that it would only be so fitting as a tribute, just to read a verse of what Khalil says on dying. It says, "For what is it to die, but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? And what is it to cease breathing, but to free the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you indeed sing. And when you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limits, then shall you truly dance." Moxie's work here is done, but the love he gave, the lives he touched, the difference he made, and he was always about making a difference, that doesn't end. He lives on in all of us, in the kindness that he showed, in the example that he set, the discipline that he lived by, and the ripples that continued because of him. So from my family and our extended family in the UK, we say this with full hearts. Thank you, Moxie, for love, for your presence, and for everything that you gave, not just to us, but to everyone, and everyone who hears your voice. You are still with us, in memory, every story, every smile, and you will never, ever be forgotten. Moxie, I truly believe you are indeed singing and dancing in untethered joy. I can hear you saying, "Our child, you know how it is." Thank you all for coming today. It's been a pleasure to be here, to be able to be a part of this celebration of Carl's life. Not, as Neil said, not his death, but here celebrating all the things that he has done, and may we continue to carry his memory with us in everything that we continue to do. Thank you.
Marcia, I love that English accent. So when Moxie teased you. How did he do it?
How did you tease me? Oh, you'd always say, Chad, can't understand that English accent. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. And now we'll have the friends give their tributes. So I'll call on James Jones, Jermaine.
Good afternoon, everyone. The name is Jermaine James. And if I may be throwing the wisdom too. I am glad to be here. I feel very fortunate this afternoon to be here to celebrate Carl's life. I've known Carl about maybe about 20 years. I happen to have met him just by chance. In the latter part of 1997, I moved up to Westchester, and I used to drive back to the Bronx every Saturday morning because everything that I know Jamaican was in the Bronx. My parents, Palm Tree, if you know, you know. Wembley's Cricket Club, again, if you know, you know. And one such morning, I was tuning the radio. Siri was only a toddler then, so I couldn't say, "Hey Siri." And I happened to run into this radio program that was being hosted by Carl. And I immediately fell in love with the music and the jokes and him teasing Devo about her size 12 foot into a size 7 shoes. And shortly after that, I went to, again, the same cricket club, which was Wembley's. And Carl happened to be the host DJ that night. And I met him there for the first time, and instantaneously we became friends. Carl then later introduced me to Aunt Carmen, and then also the BK family. He and I and Carmen used to go to Charmaine, and others used to go to Long Island for BK program. I considered him a really, really good friend, a big brother to me. Anytime I may have anything that I need to talk about or just run something by anyone, he's the one that I would either text or call. And he was always full of advice, he was always full of humor, he was always very, very inspirational. I can say that I loved him dearly. I was so sad, but I won't take on that sorrow. When I learned of his passing, I knew that he was sick. I went to visit him several times, and we were definitely in touch. And even though he was sick, he would always, I opened a business not too long ago, and he was always my backbone. When I will call him and I said, "Uncle Carl, I don't think I can do this," he does say, "Oh, Chad, yes, you can. Just go ahead and do it. This is your journey. This was meant for you, so go ahead, it will work out." And as you always said to me, I saw the team set up. So I won't be too long. I will take my 2 minutes, but before I go, on behalf of him, speaking of introducing poems, and Khalid Gibran, he did the same thing to me, I would like to read something that, on his behalf, that I know that he would have liked me to do. And I think this is thought-provoking. I think this poem is thought-provoking and something for all of us here in this room to think about. So just bear with me for one moment. The poem is called "The Dash" by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears, but said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we lived and loved and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we have never loved before. If we treat each other, to be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we have never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
Amen.
How we're all spending our dashes. Thank you, that was so beautiful. So now, it's a friend, Michael Perry. Michael, are you here? Carmen, are you here? Is Michael here? Okay. Now, friends of his radio program. So I'll call on Roy Walters. Are you here, Roy? It's one of his radio colleagues. And so now, Carl, we're moving into the secrets of Irie Jam. Is that what it's called?
Irie Jam Radio.
Radio.
Good afternoon, everyone. This one's a tough one for me because me and Carl was real close. When you think of someone that is not selfish, you think of Uncle Carl B. When you think of someone that's always giving of himself, you think of Uncle Carl B. I was sick and was diagnosed in 2000 and had to move to Minnesota for treatment. I was in Minnesota for almost a year. Carl called me every night. Every night, my phone would ring and I knew it was Uncle Carl. Even when I didn't even have the strength to answer the phone, I had to, because when I came off the phone, I'd be laughing. Uncle Carl gave me strength. When I came back from Minnesota a year later, I was driving on the southern state and got a call from Uncle Carl. And he said to me, I want to tell you something, but I couldn't tell you last year. He told me that he was going through a health situation. He didn't want me to hear about it on the radio. I didn't get to the exit. I pulled to the side because I couldn't believe with all that I was going through, Carl wanted me to be strong, so he didn't tell me what he was going through. That is the strength of Uncle Carl in Moxie. I want to say thank you, Uncle Carl, for making us better people. I see so many radio personalities here, and I'm quite sure everyone has a story about Uncle Carl. I have so much, and I have a few secrets, but I'm going to leave it to the cousin when Mars got up on the radio to really tell you some of those secrets. Uncle Carl will truly be missed, but we have so many memories. I'm quite sure most of you here have attended either the Mother's Day event or the famous boat rides from back in the days. And I gotta say big respect to Stretch, because sometimes I would be out of the country and said, why, if you can't come, make sure Stretch come, or make sure Oxtail come. But it was always Road International. Road International was the sound. First time I met Carl, I was at WNWK 105.9 FM doing a show called The Caribbean Blend, where he brought his music to me. But I I'm so overwhelmed with music, I didn't get to it at the time. And he called me one day and said, well, I didn't hear the song. And I said, Uncle Carl, the truth. Well, I know it must call it. It wasn't Uncle at the time. I said, Carl, I haven't gotten to it yet. When I finally heard the album and started to play it, I met Carl again a few years later at Irie Jam because he was a part of Irie Jam Radio. And one of the first meetings I went to, Uncle Carl was there. And of course, like the rest of the team, he welcomed me with open arms. Let me again say thank you, Uncle Carl, for all that you've done for us, whether on radio, whether on raising money for, of course, organizations that need it the most, especially back home in Jamaica. We'll definitely miss you, and we won't forget you. And I'll always say, hello, you're up on the radio. Uncle Carl, we love you. Respect.
So you're not going to share a secret?
No, I'm going to have to take that to my grave.
Okay, Carl, you heard him? So we next call on Christopher McDonald, again from Irie Radio, Jam Radio. Christopher, are you here?
Dubby. That's him. Dubby, that's you?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
As Uncle Carl would say, Om Shanti. Peace to you all. Now, of course, like everybody who has spoken before, there are countless memories, countless lessons, because almost every time you had a conversation with Uncle Carl, somewhere along the line in that interaction, you felt like he was teaching you something. You felt like there was a lesson in there somewhere. And his birthday, December 5, and my birthday, December 7. So as fellow Sagittarians, we used to have some very interesting conversations. And it's also a reality that we had to deal with because for years at 93.5 FM, he'd do his Saturday morning program into the afternoon at 1 p.m. And I would come on Irie Jam Radio directly after him. And it was interesting that many Saturdays back in those days when we used to share the same studio at the radio station in New Rochelle, you know, it was a little bit primitive in the earlier days. And we used to have our commercial carts and equipment. So he'll be packing up to leave the studio, and I'll be coming into the studio, and you know, we would rub shoulders sometimes. Excuse me, sir. Age before, you know, looks, but please hurry up and get out of the studio so I can get in. And it was always such a joy, because even though we used to tease each other, we used to muster each other, it was always a joy to just have that little brief interaction. And those who know, one of our names that we used to affectionately call him, other than Uncle Carl, was Bubbler. Now, I won't tell you how he got to that, but Bubbler, everything good, Bubbler? Yes, Bubbler, everything good, Bubbler. Have a good show, Bubbler. Thank you, sir. Your show, Bubbler. Excellent, as always, motivational. So I'm just here to say, Uncle Carl, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for the love, the teachings. I cannot thank you enough for the motivation. DJ Roy just mentioned the fact that he was very uplifting and positive. I personally cannot thank him enough. He was a motivational energy to many. He was like an uncle, a big brother, a friend, sometimes a spiritual leader, yes. And sometimes I used to ask him, I said, Uncle Carl, where do you get this wisdom from? And someone also mentioned earlier on that he was a student of truth and of life and of reality. And as a result of that, we used to have some very, very deep conversations. So, Bubla, job well done. Well done. Uncle Carl B, we have so many memories. And we know you shall continue to motivate us and teach us as we take a moment from time to time to remember. So, to his family, Carmen, love. And we know that he was he was in love with you in ways that words could not describe. He used to talk about you all the time. So he taught us how to share that kind of love with every individual. The man was all about principle. He was all about spreading that love and joy and that understanding to everybody who he came in contact with. And the fact that he used to be a boxer, that didn't make sense to me. I said, you, Uncle Carl, so calm, so collected. I said, I know why this boxing thing never worked out for you. Yeah, because clearly you were meant to do bigger and more meaningful things. And that was definitely a part of his journey. So again, I just say, Uncle Carl, job well done. Thank you. Thank you and thank you.
This part, Carmen said she didn't know that Carl loved her so much. As a Sagittarius, you believe her?
He would talk about her way more than she would ever know, and that's a beautiful thing. So again, Carmen, you were highly, highly loved and respected.
And we don't believe you. The next friend is Garfield Bourne from Chin, from Soundtrack Radio and TV. The first question, why do they call you Chin?
I'm super nervous. And I'm super nervous because those of you who know me and know me well, I don't do bodies. I don't. Uncle Carl meant so much to me that as I was walking in the building, I was saying to myself, whoa, the body's in the front. What do I do? Last night, I sat down to prepare to talk about my relationship with Uncle Carl. And I actually ended up speaking to Uncle Carl. Speaking to him in a sense where we had a very odd relationship. The nice Brother Carl or Uncle Carl that you guys speaking about, I don't know that Carl. The Uncle Carl that I know was my bully. He bullied me at the office because he said that he realized that I had the capability of connecting with people. And when you have that capability, you have a responsibility. So every time I did something out of pocket or what he thought was out of pocket, I would have to go and get disciplined. For him to kind of just reel me back in and allow me to understand responsibility. He was very big on responsibility. One thing about Uncle Carl is that he supported you when he realized that you were worthy of support. There was something about him that allowed him to just recognize people who need uplifting words, people who just need a shoulder to lean on, or people who just need his time. But that came with responsibility. So with Uncle Carl, I found myself in my office working for him. And working for him would mean that he questioned me about things being in order. He questioned me about things running in a timely fashion. Now, the kicker with us in the office, and anybody who works at Soundchat can tell you this, we have Soundchat all the way till midnight on a Saturday. But on a Sunday, Uncle Carl is the first person in the office. So we used to have to make sure after the show, only on a Saturday night this happens, that the studio was immaculate for him to come in on Sunday morning. Because if he came in on Sunday morning and there was something left on the board, he's picking up his phone and he's calling me and basically scolding me about not living up to his expectations. Now, let me tell you this. It was the most wonderful feeling that I've had as far as being somebody who has a natural talent but still needs someone to kind of mold you and instruct you, because sometimes you get caught up in everything that's happening and you want that person to not be a part of that hype but love you so much to tell you, come here. And Uncle Carl was my come here person. And because of that, I had to break this rule that I have about bodies. Because that conversation that I had with Uncle Carl last night, I was sitting down and I wanted to jot down some points. And Carl says to me, what are you doing? You know me. You're not for write down nothing. Just go there and do what you do all the time. Chat. So, this is me just chatting about somebody who was more than a friend to me. Somebody who was a mentor and more than that. And sometimes I think that I'm Carl's son. That's the way he deals with me. He was so concerned about every single detail when it came to my growth as we ventured into broadcasting and media. And it was just, again, this absolutely wonderful feeling. To me, the real true definition of life is this: the stories told after death. If no one fills the room, if there's no laughter, if there's no joy, if there's no stories and no inspiration, it means that you didn't make an impact. So do me a favor. It's really quiet in here. And me and Uncle Carl, as quiet as you said he is, we love make noise on radio. So make some noise for brother Uncle Carl here. For these words, I give thanks. Thank you guys so much.
So now I know where Sound Chat Radio and TV came from. We received a message from Alvin Gallimore, a recorded message which Sister Carmen could not make available today, but we'd like to thank him. He is a friend of Brother Carl from St. Anne, Jamaica. I hope you can hear that message at some point. And now I'd like to call on Dr. Claudette Joy Spence to say your 2 minutes. Greetings. And I know there's a Deborah Harrington in the room. Debbie? Deborah? Where is she? I wanted to acknowledge you because I know how close you were to that time.
Greetings, everyone. All chanting. I met Carl back in 2005. I had been listening to the radio. I was seeking some opportunities to promote some written work that I had. And when I listened to his show, not only the words that he used, but the tone in which he spoke, and the music that he played, said to me that his audience would be an ideal audience for my book. And so I contacted him about promoting the book there, sent him a copy. Sometime later he called me up, but he said, I read your book and I've shared it with my wife. And I want to tell you, he really didn't pause, but somewhere between my wife and what he said next seemed like forever. And during that time I had to go, ooh, share with my wife. I wonder what she would say, nervousness. But he went on to say, Carmen, my wife said we should invite you to the Bronco Morris. And that was a significant invitation and a move and growth in my own spiritual development, for which I give thanks. Carl has gone on to be supportive of my writings. There are times he would show up at a book signing. I thank him for supporting me and my work. I have showed up on his behalf to support him and Sister Carmen when they have things, particularly in the Bronx. I had to go. I live not in the Bronx, not close, but I would have to travel quite a distance. But I would go because he was doing work that I believed in, teaching us how to be better people, teaching us how to love each other, teaching the teachings and the values of the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual Organization. As you can see, I'm walking with a walker. I had some major complicated surgery done not too long ago, and so I would communicate with Carl by text. And not too long ago, he sent me a text apologizing for not responding quicker. He said he wasn't as strong as he was, and he was sorry that he delayed talking to me. Can you imagine? Yeah? And so I give thanks for his life. I give thanks for his influence on my life. I give thanks for the teachings of the Brahma Kumaris. And may we all continue to share his light, his love, his peace. God's love, God's peace.
Thank you so much, Claudette. And now, we were told it's very silent in here, and we need to make some noise. You want to make some more noise before we go back into the silence? Come on, yes, let's hear it. And so now we have an international song, and I'd like you to play just 2 minutes. Just 1 minute of it before we continue with tributes. Just as a break for us to breathe deeply and to take stock of all those beautiful words that our hearts are absorbing. So let's go into a reflective space and listen to a minute of the sound of silence. Thank you. So now we move into Carl's friends and brothers and sisters from the Brahma Kumaris, and we'll have a few of them share. And I'm not sure also how long, or 2 minutes, for the Brahma Kumaris. And so I'll ask the first one to share is Sister Anjani. And Sister Anjani, like Eric, is from the headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris in the US, which is Harmony House. I think Sister Anjani also served as Carl's teacher. She was very strict with him. And let's hear about how Carl responded to your strictness.
Om Shanti and a good evening. And it's definitely a day of celebration, a life of celebration for our dearest, dearest brother. Brother Carl, I think I know him just after Sister Carmen, because Sister Carmen came to the Brahma Kumaris, to Global Harmony House first, and then our brother showed up. He was a very good student. You know, Brother Carl would say, your father, my father, and our father. And that was his inclusiveness. When he would talk about God, it's not about God being your God or my God, but it's about our Father. And I feel that is very feelingful and meaningful, because we are the family of one. And that was one of the faith that he carried in his heart. I went to see him, I know I have 2 minutes. I went to visit Brother Carl when I heard he was not doing well, and made my pot of soup, and we went over and he had his lunch. I made sure I put it in the bowl and served him. And he sat down and we had such wonderful, deep conversation. And it's conversation about life. It's about his journey of his illness and how he's managing, how he's able to deal with it. And what I felt was the courage, the determination, the strength, the willpower, and so many beautiful qualities. through this conversation. Are you getting paid, Brother Carl? Not much, just a little. And this time, the back used to be hurting. But he knew how to deal with pain. He knew how to work with his body because he also knew that he's the soul that is using the body. He knew that his relationship and companionship with God would carry him through the journey that he went through in terms of working with his body. And this is why he had so much courage. But with Brother Carl's courage and the powers that he has received from God was Sister Carmen's strength, which I am still amazed that how Sister Carmen was able to manage that. There were times, I will let the secret out. There were times when I would call her, Sister Carmen, this. Anthony, I can't talk to you right now because I'm in the bathroom with Brother Carl. And I knew instantly what to do. And so sometimes I would step back and just reflect and really sending pure thoughts, pure feelings with a lot of love for these two wonderful people, these two wonderful souls. I was thinking about Brother Carl's life and listening to everyone's sharing. And a blessing card that I have picked up, I would like to share that card, which actually speaks about his life in just a few words. You fly through life with the enthusiasm to serve mankind. And in return, blessings flock to you. And so that's his life. His life is a life of blessings. Om Shanti, and thank you.
Thank you, Sister Angeline. The next one from the Brahma Kumaris is Sister Beverly Leon.
Wow. I'm not very good at speaking the crowd to a crowd, but Uncle Carl taught me. So I hope I will do him proud. Meeting Carl Moxie 18 years ago was the beginning of my spiritual life. Carl was my earthly best friend, my brother, my confidant, and my sounding board. He was always there for me. It all happened when I answered a question on his radio show and won tickets. I went to Carl's home to pick up my winnings. While there, I felt a lightness, a peaceful energy as I stood on his porch. When I shared those feelings with him, he smiled and said, "It may be because my wife does meditation sessions downstairs." He suggested that I check it out. I did. And that for me was the real winning. I am convinced that God used Carl as a light to guide me to him. Carl really, truly cared for others. His kindness and thoughtfulness knew no bounds. He was a contented soul, and that was a gift given to him by God, which is why he left a positive impact on every person he met. As I watched him interact with individuals, I saw the respect he showed no matter what the person's status was. For him, no one was less than. Carl embodied the qualities of God, which is peace, love, honesty, compassion, and joy. That was what he had to give, and so he gave it all. There was no pretense with him, no noise, no drama, no hate. He held no grudges. He was a humble man who walked slowly and carried a big heart. Carl knew that the soul in each person was innately good. You could always hear him tell you that you are a special person, and he meant it. I know that almost everyone in this room has experienced that $1 million smile of his that lights up and radiates with warmth. There is Carl. I thank God every day that you walked into my life and brought Sister Carmen with you. You will not be forgotten. A beautiful and happy life awaits you, my brother. I love you. I wish you a joyful landing. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Evelyn. He taught you well, sweetie. And now, our final person to share would be Brother Fenton Ellis. And Brother Fenton has this knack. If you tell him 2 minutes, he uses 2 minutes. Not a second more, not a second less.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti. I am peace. You know, when the village hears that Uncle Carl has fly, Brother Carlos flew away, then they all come running because Uncle Carl has a large will, and the loot will be distributed. And so it is said that a wise man leaves a legacy, but those that will come after him. And we've heard of love, and we have to affirm it, accept it as part of the jewels that we've received. And so we have to say to ourselves, I am that love, that I am. And when we hear of peace, we have to say, I am that peace, that I am. So we've heard it being said, I am that I am. I am the child of the Most High. So Brother Carl practiced the royal part, Raj Yoga. And why? Because sovereignty is assured, because it becomes the union between the child and its father. And so the child becomes like the father. The ocean of peace, the child becomes the essence of peace, so that the child, like the father, will bestow peace on all sides. So when we hear the term Shanti, am peace. I am that. I am. That I am. Peace and love and trust and hope and truth. That I am. So these are the jewels that was as legacy distributed to all the brothers and sisters and friends and grandfriends and grandbrothers unlimitedly. The other aspect is spirit, soul consciousness, continuity. We know as guests in the body, we come for a while, whether it's 20 years, 60 years, 80 years, 90 years, and then we have to leave the bodies. Yes? So we're saying we're eternal beings, children of the Most High, do not die. Death has no sting. And this body will be cremated and returned to the dust. And we continue our journey onwards. Well, Sister Gayatri will explain what happens on that journey, but eternal souls, beings of light, children of the Supreme. That was one of his practices, his deep, old-fashioned, old-school practice. From 4 a.m. in the morning, rising, going beyond the awareness of the body, considering the self-soul that I am, and remembering the Father, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Light. And so from that, if you're linked to the source of love and light, and the source is unlimited, infinite, then contentment comes because you can be satisfied with that source. So his legacy, his virtues, his powers, his boons, his principles, we have all gotten a sack of it. What did the sister call it? A stash? Dash. Stash. So, let's celebrate what we've received and share it with others. Om
So now we have Sherry Rock. Sherry Rock. Sherry Rock. Sherry Rock. And you'll be invoking the presence of Brother Carl with One Love.
Yeah. Just want to say good evening to all the dignitaries. And some family members who I haven't seen for a long time. Because the book said, if it in this life you have hope, you remain most miserable. So we can't be miserable. We want the light that is in us. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. 'Cause his eyes is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. If you know him, I watch you. Stand up and give God be a blessing. God be no play around here. Thank you. Be but don't worry yourself, you know, because God be love you much. Where should I do all that? Enough respect, cause some call me, he say, Om Shanti. He always say, Om Shanti, Namaste. What is that? What that mean, Namaste?
Namaste.
Huh?
Namaste.
Namaste. Okay. Everybody said that, everybody say Om Shanti. Call me, never leave out that, never leave out that. He always become with that. It's full of drama, you know. The man have some serious skit. Yes, so we always call me Uncle chat him out to them take him visa airport. And them say come and them hold up and them say go around with America. Anyhow, round the track. Some of the century. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, it isn't even crying. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Get together and feel alright. Let them all pass it. Dirty remarks. Just one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for a homeless sinner? 'Cause there's no hiding place for the Father of creation. Hear me? One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, hear the children crying. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Yeah, 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 yeah. Son of the century. Yes. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise. Get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's start your heartbeat troubles, and we hope to meet again. Yes, stay strong. Blessed Lord.
Thank you so much, dear brother. That was so beautiful. And now, I'd like to invite Sister Carmen. And Sister Carmen wants to share with us our journey together, our referring to Brother Carl and Sister Carmen's journey together. After her sharing, she will lead us into a meditation, and then that meditation will take us into the final rites ceremony. Sister Carmen?
Yeah, let's hear it for Sister Carmen.
Quite interesting because, you know, when I was trying to think about what to share, as far as, or experience together, and I just didn't have time to put my thinking into it. And I said out. And so I was sharing Gayatri, and I said, I don't know what I'm going to share. And she said, just share from your heart. So I just want to say thank you to Chen. Chen said, when you would say something or the other to Carl says, you know me, man, just share from your heart, just chat. So I suppose after living with somebody for 52 years, you should know them enough, or you should at least have an idea of what it was like to be on this journey together. So let's see if I can share from my heart. So when I was really reflecting on it, I thought about what is it I could really share with you that was meaningful for me in my life, in my journey with Carl, that would be meaningful for you. Because there's really no point of you just listening to somebody's life or somebody's story if it doesn't have any significance for me. So what about me and my journey with Carl that could have some significance to you in your journey, in your relationships, in your life? So that's what I'm going to try to just capture a little bit of that. And, you know, as you may have heard somebody say, Carl had a lot of respect for me, and I think that is true. But I really reflect on what it is that made our relationships and our journey together meaningful and enlightening. What did we gain? Because you know, when we come into relationships with someone else, there's a reason for that. You may not know. You may just think you love the person. They look cute, or something like that, right? So let's check it out and see how it works. But there's really a very deep, subtle meaning behind relationships. Why you are attracted to somebody, why you come into a relationship with somebody, why you live with this person. And at the end of that dash, in the dash, what happened? Because there is a significance for it. And so I want to try to capture a little bit of what was that dash for me. When I met Carl, and now that he's gone, what happened in that dash? And what made that dash interesting, enlightening? What did I gain? What was gained from that relationship? What happened there? What I discovered that is necessary, and I discovered it for myself, and what really I experienced in that dash, in that relationship, was to make that dash meaningful, significant, and enjoyable is this thing called respect. If nothing else, respect. Forget about love for right now, because 99% of us don't really know what love is about. Am I right or wrong? We think we do. We think we do. But we really don't know. We do the best we can. But respect. When I can respect, and not just respect you, but respect myself, is extremely important. Because if I can't respect myself in a relationship, I am going to expect you to respect me so that I can feel respected. Because every one of us in this room want to be respected. The 99% of the times when there's a conflict in our relationship is because I don't feel respected, right? But we're looking for respect from the other person because I have forgotten how to truly respect me. And in the relationship, one of the things I learned was really how to really respect myself so I don't have a need for Carl or for someone else to respect me, for me to feel respected. That is extremely important. Okay? And when there is respect in the relationship, I can value my own worth, and I can value you at all times. Then I can trust you for who you are, right? I don't need to look over my shoulders to see what you're about. That's your business, not mine. You got you to live with it, right? So for me, that was one of the biggest things that I really discovered, and I think Carl got to experience that as well. So together, we both had a real, true, genuine respect for each other. And I think that's really the biggest thing for me that made our relationship so easy, ultimately, and so meaningful, and so valuable. And nothing else. So the two takeaways from this relationship, from our journey together, is this ability to respect each other, first by learning how to respect my own self, and then learning how to trust. To trust the other, trust myself. I can't trust myself, I can't trust you. Right? So we don't start with learning how to trust people, we start with learning how to trust ourselves. We don't start with learning how to respect others or how to get respect. We start learning how to respect ourselves, and then the respect automatically will come back to you. So those are the two things, I think, for me, that are very, very interesting. And, you know, as I watched Carl in his last days, his last moment, I just felt that he felt most comfortable when I was there, because I think he trusted me. You know, I think that was what happened. And the journey at the end was very easy, very lovely, very beautiful. And I sometimes I feel like he didn't even say goodbye. He didn't tell me he was leaving, but I was right there. He was in my hands when he left, and he didn't say goodbye, but he sang. I say he sang to me. But you knew I was leaving. I didn't need to tell you, right? And I trusted you, and I trusted him. So let's take away that one meaningful nugget from here this evening. This whole aspect, and look at our own lives and see to what extent do I respect myself, and how much am I expecting respect from others, to look at the relationships that we're in and see how easy they are, and if they are not, what am I expecting of the other that I have failed to give to myself. Okay, if nothing else, let's take out one little lesson from here this evening. And so Carl traveled, and he said goodbye, and I said goodbye. And I know he's okay. But I also know he would love for us to know that the traveling, the letting go and moving on is what life is really ultimately all about. The learning how to be able to let go of the things that trap us, the illusions that trap us, and allows us to be free. Because ultimately, if you come into this world, you're going to have to leave it. If you come into this body, you're going to have to leave it. So one of the things we have to learn is how to let go of everything that is of this world, so that we can be free when it's time to go. He had no burden. He let go. He really just let go, and he was gone. So we can take this away with us this evening. And I'd like to invite you all into an experience. And I want us to kind of recapture the experience that he went through in that last moment of going, of letting go. It was a fascinating thing to watch. You know, just watch the soul just let go and take that last breath, holding on to nothing. All right? So let's just take a few moments just to go into this brief experience together of that letting go and experiencing the journey, the end of the journey, because we will have this experience someday. So I invite you all to just put down whatever you're playing with in your hands And make yourselves very comfortable. And let's go on this journey with heart. You may close your eyes if you want, but I would suggest you keep them open because it's too comfortable in here, you may fall asleep. I don't want you to do that. Take a deep breath. And relax. And bring yourself into the awareness of just being a tiny point of light. Peaceful, silent, free from the body, though I am in the body. And see yourself as this tiny being, pure light, still. Attempt to hear the silent voice of God. I have come to the end of this journey. And standing on the edge of the shore, I can clearly see my destination. I focus my thoughts. I look deep into my inner self. I connect with the feeling of my own natural and positive qualities. A warm feeling of calmness and peace emerge from within me and fills my consciousness with feelings of contentment and tranquility. All of the images fall away from my mind. Thoughts of daily concern and the activities of my body drift away. I let them go. I become free. My mind is light, lost in the feeling of my own eternal qualities. I am the form of peace, in harmony with myself and in harmony with the rhythm of life. I feel the light energy which is me, generating vibrations of peace and harmony. I feel a deep acceptance of life. And I observe my destiny pulling me ever onwards. I see the pathway of light stretching out in front of me. I contemplate the pathway. I have no fear. I only feel the peace that is within myself. As I walk hand in hand with destiny, my nature and my inner being feel steady. Filled with lightness and freedom, I begin my journey down the pathway of light. I'm not alone. With each step, I feel safe, protected, and guided. A supreme energy source of light from beyond the universe is sending me waves of peace and love. I am in the company of a true friend. A friend who is always there. A friend who's reliable, trustworthy, and caring. I feel vibrations from the supreme energy source surrounding me with waves of peace and love. And I absorb these into myself.
I feel totally at peace with myself. I feel love and acceptance from my heart, for myself and for my destiny. I'm free. I'm free from the chains of my worldly life. My pathway. My pathway of light has now taken me far beyond the pull of the world, outward, to merge within the supreme light of silence and peace, and with the divine energy of God, into a union of love, a meeting of hearts. I am loved and accepted by the Supreme Being of Light, the ocean of love. All the old and unnecessary is being washed away. I begin to sparkle and shine like a jewel. I become the form of peace, form of joy, and I radiate these qualities from deep within my being. I am peaceful. I am content. I am free. I am me. I let the past go. I look ahead down the pathway of light to my destiny and beyond, and I feel released. I accept myself and allow of the highest source of divine energy and light is guiding me with beams of love and protection as I go forward. I have no fear. I accept this guidance. I accept this light. I am surrounded by joy, love, peace, contentment. I surrender. I am free. I am me. Oh, shit.
It was very moving comment. It was, you let your life speak. It was authentically beautiful. So now we're going to move into the final rites ceremony. And it is a ceremony that is very participatory. So I'll be calling on a few of you to come up to do parts of the ceremony. And it is called the final rites. The significance of this ceremony is to release the soul from any subtle threads of attachments that may still be pulling it back, and from any vibrational influences. It's very ironic, but at the time of death, we find ourselves talking about life. I suppose for the soul, life and death are one and the same. Actually, death is just a pause on the journey of life. The very nature of life invites us into an ongoing pilgrimage. It's a pilgrimage of discovery. We never stop discovering who we are. The pilgrimage is journeying from the consciousness of the body to the consciousness of the soul.
The journey creates the landscape for the traveler to conquer the fear of death and to experience the immortality of the soul. From dust to dust is said of the body. But in returning to the dust, we must do so with gratitude, because nature has given us these bodies. And when the bodies are given back to nature, there must be that sense of gratitude. But there's also a letting go process that is involved here. So the ceremony we are about to witness is showing that process of letting go. To let go of the past while preparing for the future, and to let go of the old while entering into the new. This ceremony of final rites honors the soul and the body, and each aspect describes the deep significance of the relationship between the soul and the body, between the human and the being. So I'll invite Sister Carmen to come up, and the two helpers, Sister Julia and Sister Claudia, and they'll be assisting you as I call you up to do the little bit of the ceremony that is honoring this relationship of body and soul and sending the body back to Mother Nature. So the lighting of the candle, Sister Carmen will do that. In the passage of transition, the soul is in its eternal form, a being of living light. The soul is connected to the eternal flame of God's love. The light of God's truth guides the soul to its next birth. This quiet, steady flame is an invocation of God's presence. It provides comfort and a tangible way to feel connected to the Supreme. It symbolizes God's essential characteristics of bodiless, egoless, and viceless. That is the characteristic of being completely pure. The second that Sister Carmen would do is placing a sandalwood, we call it a tilak, but it is the sandalwood being placed in the center of the forehead is to remind us all that this is the seat of the soul. And in letting go, it is important to acknowledge that seat, that no longer is the seat of Carl's soul. So sandalwood is a mighty gift from Mother Nature. It serves as a symbol of spirituality, purity, and maturity. Placing a sandalwood tilak on the forehead honors the seat of the soul. That's the place within the body where the soul resides. It honors the sparkle of the spirit, the awareness of life, and the recognition of higher consciousness. The third significant piece that Carmen is going to do now is called the offering of nectar. Water is said to be a purifying force, and it is said that it takes a golden vessel of the intellect to hold the nectar of God's wisdom. Water is considered to be the flow of God's wisdom. Amrit, or nectar, is the drink of immortality. God's wisdom drips directly into the soul, gently and softly, drop by drop. the soul absorbs, imbibes, embodies, and experiences. A drop of nectar on the lips is like the life-giving herb. It is a revival, it is a renewal, and it is a rebirth. I now invite Sister Anjali to place the BK badge, we all wear a badge, and to place that badge closest to the heart of Brother Carl. Some call it a good luck charm, some call it a talisman, but we call it the badge of honor. We wear it as a mirror to see the original image and likeness of our true selves. We are created in the image and likeness of God. Pinning the badge close to the heart, the soul returns to self-sovereignty, belonging to the one beloved, with one love and one heart. And now, I invite Beverly to place the shawl. In the spiritual landscape of silence, the soul is wrapped in the pristine purity of God's light and God's love. The shawl is a symbol of God's protection, giving the warm feeling that the soul is being held in the safety of God's lap.
I'd now like to invite Sherry, and maybe Carmen, you could accompany Sherry. And Sherry, we're asking you to place the garland around Brother Carl. Garlands portray the virtues of beauty, respect, love, harmony, and loyalty. Garlands are circular and signify eternal bonds. Garlands are offered in reverence to those whose greatness lies in the single thread that holds the pieces together. This garland is an eternal embrace of everlasting love in significant relationships. I'd like to invite Phyllis O'Connor and Pat Brown to offer the rose water. Every moment, every breath, every step are currents in the river of life. When the flow of time and thoughts are synchronized in the remembrance of God, they radiate a fragrance that is transformative and forever cherished. The sprinkling of water protects the soul from influences as the life continues to flow naturally in accordance with one's own truth and inner guidance. And then, to help in the burning of the body, because Brother Carl's body will be cremated, it's the offering of incense sticks.
I'll invite Neil, Barry Moxie, Jackie, and Michael Gordon. Just as incense sticks burn to ashes while simultaneously pervading the air with fragrance, in the same way, when a body is burnt or cremated, the soul leaves behind the sweet fragrance of memories which continue to inspire others. The sweet fragrance of memories inspire benevolence in our attitudes and benefit in the atmosphere we create. I asked Sister Julia to do this closing poem for us. And actually, Sister Julia did this poem for her own mother when her mother's final rites was being done. And Marcia, you'll hear an accent you'll recognize.
Om Shanti. This is a poem called I Am There by Iris Helston. Look for me when the tide is high and the gulls are wheeling overhead, when the autumn wind sweeps the cloudy sky, and one by one the leaves are shed. Look for me when the trees are bare and the stars are bright in the frosty sky, when the morning mist hangs on the air and shorter days pass by. I am there when the river flows and salmons leap in a silver moon, where the insects hum and the tall grass grows, and the sunlight warms the afternoon. I am there in the busy street. I take your hand in the city square, in the marketplace where people meet. In your quiet room, I am there. I am the love you cannot see. And all I ask is look for me.
And now this is the closing. And Carmen, Carl's voice. We listen to Brother Carl saying "ta-ta" for now, right? We're going to hear those final words. And then, I hope I'm saying this right. Do we have the time for everyone to come and pay the final respects and offer the rose petals, Carmen? Do we have that time? Where's Patrice? It's fine? Okay, after Brother Carl's saying "ta-ta" for now, then we'll invite you to come from this side because you were told it's better to come from this way. And you'll find these rose petals, and I think we would like Charlene Jones and Cheryl Jones to hold these rose petals. And you will take a few rose petals and you will offer it as your final blessing or good wishes or whatever is in your heart to Brother Carl. But let's hear him first say his final words, and then I'll get out of the way and Rose will be standing up here. Okay?
Folks, remain content and help make others content. Become a living lighthouse. Let your light and might shine and help guide others along to safety. Become a stick for the blind. You know what I mean. This is your Uncle Carl B. Moxie, the version king, the musical scorpion, once again saying, take no sorrow and give no sorrow. And don't look down on anyone unless to pick them up. Because they too are all special people. Be well, all of you. Om Shanti. And Tata for now. Yeah. I'm Carl B. Moxie, and you have been listening to Waco Radio FM. I'm the world treasury for being again.
Everyone, now it's your turn to come up and offer some petals, say goodbye to Carl, at least to the body. All right, so we're going to just come up, take your rose petals, just offer and keep moving. And as you keep moving, we finished with the program. We are going to serve a little refreshment for those who want to have some refreshment in the next room over there, all right, on the other side.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my yes, it was my way.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see, oh, what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on, oh, what's going on, right on, right on. Right. Mother, everybody thinks we're at home. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know we've got to find a way. Bring some understanding here today. Picket line and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Ooh. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother and I say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Oh, there've been times that I thought I could last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? you'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Fly me to the moon and let me swing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. All right now. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words,
I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord. Oh, my Lord. My sweet Lord. I really wanna see you. I really